What's happening, everyone? Noah here. So there's a lot of talk about how to achieve that super fat, beefy snare tone. We hear this a lot in worship music and old school as well as new school hip hop. So I kind of wanted to go over with you guys 5 primary ways to achieve that I think are pretty effective, but one way that I think is the best that I stumbled upon that really nobody's talking about. So we'll get to that at the very end. For now, the first thing, let's talk about the snare. I kind of picked a middle of the road snare. It's 14 by 5.5, kind of generic. It's tuned pretty high. So we can kind of hear how we can transform this thing. So first thing, tuning, obviously, but we're going to focus on these 2 bottom lugs here. So we're going to detune those almost entirely, and then we're going to detune the peripheral lugs, kind of like maybe halfway. Alright, now disclaimer, this could over time warp your hoop, so definitely want to be wary of that. But let's give this a listen. Alright, so that already elevates the fatness of that thing. So now let's go ahead and add another element. So these awesome things called moon gels. I'm just going to slap that whole thing on there, because why not? And then we've got these drum dots, also another awesome product. A little bit thicker individually than the moon gels. Okay, let's give this a listen. Obviously a lot more muted, a lot more muffled, but you still get that fat tone, alright? So next thing, a lot of guys will do the old school approach and bust out their wallet. Now of course if you're a working musician, your wallet might be a little bit lighter, so you might want to use some additional dampening. But here we go, listen to how this sounds. So a little bit more ring than obviously putting all these moon gels and stuff on it, but still a pretty effective fat sound. Next thing, some guys like to go a little bit nuts and put one of these towels on it or whatever. Here's how that sounds. So super, super dead, and that's maybe more for that like really lo-fi 80s. Type of vibe. Alright, next thing, a product by a company called Big Fat Snare Drum, actually. It does just like it sounds. It makes your snare drum sound super fat. They've got this one, and they've got another one with a hole cut out, which I really dig because that lets you be a little bit more, utilize a little bit more articulation with the snare. But here's how this one sounds. When I thought about how to achieve this big fat snare drum sound and make it super beefy, the answer was obvious. Jeeves? Ah, yes.
Master Noah?
Thank you, sir. So, like I was saying, if you're looking for that super fat, beefy snare tone, there's really only one option for you, and that's going to be 100% USDA approved sirloin steak. Now, I like a well-rounded tone, so I got some starches and veggies here, but, you know, choose your sides at your leisure. Let's hear how this sucker sounds. Extra pop. Boom. Beef, it's what's for drummers.
This has been Noah's Beefy Snare Tips. Tune in next week for more dope beats and rockin' tips.